Let's be honest. The moment that stays with you isn't the kiss or the words or even the night you replay in your head. It's the first time she lets you touch this one specific place and something inside you quietly clicks. Your chest tightens, your breathing slows, and you feel it before you understand it. That moment isn't accidental. It's not random. And it's definitely not about lust. It's about permission. I'm going to speak to you as a woman who understands how these moments actually work, not how movies pretend they do. Because when a woman lets you touch her hand in a certain way, she's already crossed a psychological line most men never notice. Not a quick handshake, not a polite brush. I'm talking about when she allows her hand to rest in yours without tension, when she doesn't pull away, when her fingers soften instead of stiffen. That's not romance. That's trust being handed over quietly. Women are taught from a young age to protect their personal space. Our hands are how we defend, how we create distance, how we decide who gets access to our nervous system. When a woman gives you her hand and keeps it there, she's letting your presence regulate her emotions. That's not small, that's deep. And it happens long before anything physical is supposed to happen. Here's the part men misunderstand. Touching the hand isn't powerful because it's innocent. It's powerful because it's exposed. The hand carries tension, fear, comfort, intention. When she lets you hold it without resistance, her body is saying, I feel safe here. Her mind is saying, I don't need armor with him. And her instincts are saying something even louder. This man won't rush me, pressure me, or take more than I'm ready to give. Most men lose this moment because they don't slow down enough to feel it. They treat it like a stepping stone instead of a destination. But the men who understand female psychology know that when her hand stays, her walls are already lowering. She's watching how you breathe, how you squeeze, how long you stay present without asking for more. This is where attraction is decided. Not in your words, not in your looks, but in your restraint. When you don't rush, don't tighten, don't claim. When you simply hold. Her body learns something critical in that moment. You are emotionally controlled, and emotional control is what women bond to at a primal level. If you've ever wondered why some men seem unforgettable without doing much, this is why. They understand that when a woman gives her hand freely, she's already inviting you into her inner world. Everything else comes later, or it doesn't come at all, but this moment always comes first. What most men never realize is that a woman's body speaks long before her mouth does, and the place where this truth becomes undeniable isn't where you expect. It's when she allows you to touch the back of her neck without flinching. That small, vulnerable space just below her hairline isn't sensual by accident. It's neurological. The back of the neck is where a woman feels danger first. It's where instinct tells her to protect herself, to pull away, to tense up. When a woman lets your fingers rest there calmly, without her shoulders rising, without her breath tightening, she's allowing you into a zone that her nervous system guards fiercely. That permission doesn't come from chemistry alone. It comes from emotional certainty. This is why rushed men never get here. They think attraction is built by escalation, by momentum, by pressure. But pressure triggers resistance. Women don't surrender trust under force. They surrender it under consistency. When your presence feels predictable, grounded, and emotionally steady, her body stops preparing for impact. That's when she lets you close. Notice something important. When she allows that touch, she doesn't look at you immediately. Her eyes soften. Sometimes they close for a second. That's not submission. That's regulation. Her nervous system is syncing with yours. And the moment a woman's body learns that it can calm down around you, you stop being just a man. You become an anchor. Here's the uncomfortable truth most dating advice avoids. Women don't bond through excitement alone. They bond through relief. Relief from hypervigilance, relief from having to be guarded, relief from constantly evaluating danger. When your touch brings relief instead of stimulation, you bypass games entirely. Men who understand this never ask, "Does she like me?" They watch how her body responds to stillness. Does she lean in instead of pulling away? Does she breathe deeper instead of faster? Does she remain present when there's silence? These signals are louder than words, and this is where many men sabotage themselves. The moment they feel access, they rush to claim it. They tighten their grip. They move faster. They ask for reassurance. That shift tells her body one thing: instability. The safety evaporates. The wall comes back up. A woman doesn't give access to that space unless she believes you can handle it responsibly. She's not testing your desire. She's testing your control. When you remain calm, unhurried, and emotionally neutral, her attraction deepens without effort. Understand this clearly. If she lets you touch the back of her neck without hesitation, she's already decided something internally. Not that she owes you anything, but that she trusts you enough to explore what could happen next. That decision happens quietly, long before labels, long before declarations. The men who win aren't the ones who push. They're the ones who hold space. They let the moment breathe. They let her body lead. And by doing so, they become unforgettable, not because of what they took, but because of how safe she felt giving. There's another place men underestimate because it doesn't look sexual at all, yet it carries more meaning than most intimate acts ever will. It's when she lets you touch her lower back, not to pull her closer, not to guide her, but simply to rest your hand there while standing or walking beside her. That moment is loaded with psychology. The lower back is where a woman feels guided. It's where she decides whether she's being led or controlled. When she allows your hand to stay there without stiffening, without stepping away, without adjusting her posture to create distance, she's silently accepting your presence as grounding rather than invasive. Her body is answering a question her mind hasn't fully formed yet. Can I move through the world comfortably with him beside me? Most men ruin this without realizing it. They turn the touch into a claim. Their fingers press harder, their hand slides, their intention shifts from presence to possession. And the moment that happens, her body reacts before her thoughts do. The comfort disappears, the trust retracts. But when a woman allows your hand there and continues moving naturally, something important has already happened internally. She's not bracing herself. She's not calculating exits. She's not scanning for danger. She's flowing. And flow only happens when the nervous system feels safe. Here's the truth you rarely hear. Women don't decide attraction logically. Attraction is decided by how regulated her body feels around you over time. Your words might spark interest, but your consistency determines attachment. When your touch doesn't demand, doesn't rush, and doesn't signal entitlement, it communicates emotional maturity without a single sentence. Notice how she responds afterward. Does she slow her pace to match yours? Does she angle her body slightly toward you instead of away? Does she stay close without needing a reason? These aren't coincidences. These are subconscious confirmations. Her body is choosing alignment. Men who understand female psychology know that leadership isn't about dominance. It's about direction without force. When your hand rests on her lower back and she relaxes into it, she's allowing you to influence her movement, her rhythm, her experience. That level of trust isn't given lightly. It's earned through emotional steadiness. This is why unstable men never reach this point. Insecurity leaks through touch. Needy energy feels heavy. Urgency feels unsafe. Women sense this instantly. The men who feel calm inside don't need to prove anything. Their touch doesn't ask. It reassures. And here's something even deeper. When a woman allows that contact in public, not just in private, she's signaling internal alignment. She's comfortable being seen near you. She's not hiding the connection. She's not compartmentalizing you. Her body language is already integrating you into her world. Understand this carefully. This doesn't mean ownership. It means openness. It means her resistance is lowering because her experience with you has been consistent. She's not imagining chaos. She's imagining ease. If you've ever wondered why some men seem to progress effortlessly while others stall, this is why. They don't chase reactions. They create environments where a woman's body can relax, and when her body relaxes, her emotions follow. By the time she lets you touch her there without thought, the decision has already been made at a level deeper than logic. You're no longer being evaluated, you're being experienced. There's a moment that feels almost invisible, yet it changes how a woman experiences you entirely. It's when she allows you to touch her face, not in passion, not during intimacy, but calmly, your fingers brushing her cheek, her jaw, or tucking hair away without urgency. That touch carries more weight than most men understand. A woman's face is identity. It's how she's seen, judged, remembered. It's the part of her she protects when she's uncertain. When she lets your hand rest there without pulling back, she's allowing you to see her without armor. That permission doesn't come from attraction alone. It comes from emotional safety layered over time. Watch closely when this happens. Her eyes don't dart away. Her muscles don't tighten. She doesn't freeze. Instead, she stays present. Sometimes she even leans into your hand without realizing it. That's her body saying something her words haven't caught up to yet. I feel emotionally exposed here, and I'm okay with that. Most men misread this moment and rush to intensify it. They move closer. They try to turn it into something more. And by doing so, they break the spell. Because this touch isn't about escalation. It's about acceptance. When a woman lets you touch her face gently, she's allowing vulnerability without defense. That's rare, and it's powerful. Here's the deeper psychology. Women are constantly evaluating how men respond to vulnerability. Not how they create it, but how they handle it. When your touch stays calm, unhurried, and emotionally neutral, you show restraint. And restraint is what builds trust faster than charm ever could. Notice her breathing in that moment. If it stays slow, if her shoulders remain relaxed, if she doesn't step back afterward, her nervous system is registering comfort, not threat. That's when emotional bonding deepens quietly. No drama, no declarations, just presence. Men who lack self-control can't sustain this. Their anxiety leaks through their hands. Their need for validation turns the moment heavy. Women feel that shift instantly, and when they do, the openness disappears. But when you stay grounded, when you don't rush to claim, something profound happens. She begins to associate your presence with calm clarity, not excitement alone, not intensity, but steadiness. And steadiness is what women trust when considering long-term emotional investment. This is also why emotionally mature men feel rare. They don't chase reactions, they allow space. They understand that attraction grows when a woman feels seen without being consumed. When your hand leaves her face and she doesn't move away, when she stays close, that's confirmation. Her body has accepted you at a deeper level. Understand this clearly. This doesn't mean entitlement, it means access. Access to her emotional world, her softness, her unguarded self. And access is always given before intimacy, never after. If you've ever wondered why a woman suddenly becomes more affectionate, more open, more emotionally available without you changing anything obvious, this is why. She's responding to how safe she feels being herself around you. When she lets you touch her face without hesitation, the evaluation phase is ending. She's no longer asking, "Is this man safe?" She's beginning to ask, "What could this become?" And that question is only asked when trust has already taken root. There's one final place that changes everything, and it's the one men almost never think about because it feels too simple to matter. It's when she lets you touch her thigh, casually, naturally, without tension, especially when nothing sexual is happening. No build-up, no expectation, just presence. A woman's thigh isn't just skin, it's proximity, it's closeness. It's the space between public and private. When she allows your hand to rest there without shifting away, without crossing her legs, without creating distance, her body is making a decision before her mind finishes the sentence. She's allowing you into her personal boundary without alarm. This is where many men get it wrong. They assume the meaning is sexual. They assume it's permission to escalate. But the real meaning is deeper. It's comfort without fear. It's trust without pressure. It's her nervous system saying, I don't feel the need to protect myself from this man. Pay attention to what she does after the touch. Does she stay exactly where she is? Does she continue the conversation without a shift in tone? Does her body remain open instead of angled away? These are the signals that matter. When a woman is uncomfortable, her body reacts immediately. When she's comfortable, she forgets to guard. Here's something most men don't realize. Women live in a constant state of boundary management. Every interaction involves micro-decisions about safety, intention, and control. When she lets your hand rest on her thigh and doesn't tense, she's temporarily turning that system off. That doesn't happen by accident. That happens because your presence has proven itself over time. Men who reach this point aren't louder, they aren't flashier, they aren't more aggressive, they're calmer, they're predictable, they don't create emotional spikes that feel unstable. Women don't attach to chaos long term, they attach to clarity. This is also where insecure men fail. The moment they feel access, they test it. They move their hand, they look for confirmation, they seek reassurance, and that shift changes everything, because now the touch isn't about comfort anymore. It's about need, and need feels heavy to a woman's nervous system. When a woman allows that contact and you remain exactly the same, emotionally steady, relaxed, unbothered, her attraction deepens quietly. She begins to associate you with ease, and ease is addictive. Understand this clearly. This doesn't mean she's giving you ownership. It means she's allowing closeness without fear. That's the foundation of intimacy, not the result of it. Think about the men women remember most. Not the ones who impressed them the hardest, but the ones who made them feel calm without effort. The ones who didn't rush moments. The ones who didn't turn every opening into a demand. When she lets you touch her thigh without pulling away, the decision has already been made internally. She's no longer evaluating whether you're safe. She's experiencing how it feels to be near you, and experience always outweighs logic in attraction. This is the difference between men who stay temporary and men who become emotionally significant. One chases signals, the other creates safety. By the time you reach this moment, you're not competing anymore. You're not proving yourself. You're simply present. And presence is what allows a woman to relax into her attraction instead of fighting it. If you've been listening closely, you already understand the truth most men never hear. None of these touches are about taking, they're about being allowed. And the final realization is this: by the time a woman lets you touch any of these places without tension, the choice has already been made inside her, not consciously, not verbally, but biologically and emotionally. Women don't give access to their bodies before they give access to their nervous system. And once her nervous system feels safe with you, attraction stops being a question and starts becoming a direction. She's no longer asking whether you're different, she's feeling that you are. This is where men either solidify everything or quietly lose it. Because the moment you start believing you've won, you stop being the man who made her feel safe. You rush, you assume, you change your energy, and her body feels that shift immediately. Attraction doesn't disappear loudly, it fades silently when safety is replaced with entitlement. The men women stay drawn to understand something crucial. Emotional consistency is more seductive than confidence. Calm presence is more powerful than intensity, and restraint communicates strength better than any display ever could. When your touch remains grounded, when your behavior stays steady, when your emotions don't spike or crash, her body learns it can trust the future with you. This is why chasing validation never works. The moment you need reassurance, you give her something to manage. And women don't bond to men they have to emotionally regulate. They bond to men who regulate themselves. Here's the truth you were never supposed to hear. A woman doesn't fall for how you touch her. She falls for how you don't change after she lets you. When you stay the same man before and after access, her attraction deepens naturally. When you don't demand more, she becomes curious to give more. Think back to the moments in your life where things felt effortless with a woman. The conversations flowed, The silence felt comfortable. The closeness felt natural. That wasn't luck. That was emotional alignment. And alignment only happens when a woman feels safe enough to stop protecting herself. This is the equation most men get wrong. They believe attraction equals effort plus escalation. But the real equation is simpler and harder to master. Safety plus consistency plus emotional control, desire that lasts. Remove one of those and everything collapses. Add all three and you stop chasing outcomes. You start creating experiences, and experiences are what women remember. If you've ever felt confused about mixed signals, hot and cold behavior, or sudden emotional distance, this is why. Her body sensed instability before her mind explained it. Women don't leave when attraction disappears. They leave when safety does. So here's the question I want you to sit with and answer honestly in the comments. In your past relationships, which part of the equation did you break? Safety, consistency, or emotional control? If this spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Like the video so more men hear the truth. Subscribe if you're ready to understand women instead of chasing them. And share this with a friend who needs to hear what no one ever told him.